This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Welcome to Behind the Scenes, for your half-assed entertainment news with no bullshit, with our hosts, Summer Helene and Bear Fiorda, only on Talk 4 Media.
G'day guys, welcome to Behind the Scenes. I'm your host, Summer Helene, and we are late today because we had to pull fake eyelashes. So if you all don't know, I get these eyelash extensions done, right? I got one out and under my eyelid. So Kimberly,
it was quite impressive,
it was disgusting. So Kimberly's standing here trying to get these out. Turns out I had two of them stuck. It was really, really bad. And then we found out our sound engineer was like, I will take your eyelash and top you eyelash behind my contact lens.
Because apparently sometimes it'll brush as you put the contact lens and it'll brush against the eyelashes and it'll go into the eye.
Nothing in the world. No, he got his eyelash stuck behind his contact lens. That's the point. I'm like, forget it. I don't need eyes. I don't need eyes anymore. I'm done.
No, that's a terrible feeling. And even worse is if you get scratch your eyeball where it constantly feels like something's in there.
If
that's
what
it, yeah, it's exactly the sensation.
If you had your contact lens in and you had a hair behind it, that's what it would feel like. It would feel like you scratched it.
I don't know the nature of how contacts work, but in my brain, I'd want to pull that immediately and rinse my eyeball.
I'd want to pull my eyeball out immediately and rinse it.
If you pull your eyeball, a singular eyeball out, you guys go completely blind. You don't see out of one and the other. If you lose one, you lose both. Your brain just shuts it off.
Shout out to Victoria Sandoval. That's why we know that, because she got her eyeball scooped out.
Victoria Sandoval, she's a makeup artist within the film industry. She works with the Arizona Film Commission. She's a very, very talented woman. But at one point, she lost an eyeball due to her dog scratching it. And then it's popped out a few times since then, actually.
Because once it's stretched, it pops out. And it fell. She was leaning forward, doing makeup on set. She leaned forward, and her eyeball fell out.
I'm sure thankfully, she had an eye patch. So it wasn't like the other person just immediately like, oh, just dangling there. And good, thank God for her, too, because who knows how far it would have gone if it caused more damage. But on that said, that director was an asshole, though.
Yeah, he was.
He so this director, I've had leaving to go take care of
director, I've had his stuff come across my desk, and I've refused to distribute him because that's the second time. The first time I heard about him is he tried to save money by making his own candy glass, which for those that don't know, is that glass that breaks when you hit people with it. He made his own, made it too thick, and hit and my friend and a friend of the show, Ellie Ringo. For those that don't know, Ellie knows rocks. She's a geologist with it. And gave her a concussion. So far, this guy has had one friend he wouldn't let leave.
Wouldn't let leave after her
eyeball popped out, and he refused to take her to the hospital. And then the other one, he hit with candy glass to the point that she got a concussion.
And actually, he was responsible for the eyeball too, because she warned him, hey, if you make me strain my eye, it'll pop out. And he put her in a position where it was going to be strained.
And so it was consistent issues. So the moment I'm like, I do not like this man. I do not work with this man. And when his stuff comes along, I tell everyone, I'm like, don't work with him. He's going to get sued one day.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised he hasn't already. I'm surprised people are not making a class action suit against him. He should have been sued. He should have been. He really should have been.
Here's the thing. I've only heard about him he really only treats women and gay guys like this.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
Really, and kids.
Why kids? The fuck?
No idea, but it's men. Like, if you can kick his ass, he pretty much won't do it, and he's weirdly homophobic.
That's like a complex then.
No, he's just weirdly homophobic. That's the thing that gets to me with him. I'm like, But the biggest thing is I won't distribute his stuff. No, it doesn't. That's not what that means.
No, when you're overtly homophobic, it means you're hiding something.
That is true. I do get called in. For those that don't know, one of the things I do is I'm who you call in the film industry if you get caught doing something naughty. A lot of the guys that call me are Fox commentators who got caught with male escorts. I also, though, it's funny. I work for both the Republican and the Democratic parties. They pay me to pick fights with myself. because they're both paying me. So it's
Here's
weird.
the thing. It's
but
just,
you know, I don't
the
mind.
Republicans probably pay you more though.
Oh, they do.
They put more money into
They
their
do,
publicity
and they're
all
better
that
at it.
jazz.
They're much better at it. The what's funny about it though is I don't mind when they have me play against myself.
Mhm.
It's like not having a chess opponent. Nobody's as good at it as I am. So I like when I get to play myself. It's fun. I have a decent opponent there.
As long as you're making money is all that matters.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of playing against themselves and making money, which means it has nothing to do with that at all, there are UFOs over New Jersey. I'm only partially kidding.
I want to call in Jimmy and let's talk about the UFOs.
Okay, let's bring him in.
Guys,
and talk
I know
about
you all know
UFOs.
who this is. This is Jimmy Star. Jimmy, welcome to the show.
Hi, you guys. Can you hear me?
I can.
Loud and
I
clear.
can. You look amazing.
My AirPods aren't working. I don't know what the deal. I charged them and everything. But yeah, there's UFOs.
They're
It's probably hiding that shit from us. You know, everybody's going to get like busted on there.
Oh, having
you're
trouble
kinda-
hearing. You're cutting in and out now.
It's almost like your mic is so loud that it's causing.
No. It's cutting in and out. I think you just connected to the earpods.
Oh, okay.
I think you just connected to the AirPods.
Couldn't tell you. It says he's muted right now.
Try now. You're muted. You're muted. He muted the mic. One, can you unmute Jimmy, or does Jimmy have to do it? So for those that don't know, this is
Okay.
Jimmy Star. Jimmy Star's a mate of ours. We work in the same industry, and he has his own show on here with his husband. Jimmy, you are muted. Do you want to write that in? Just in case
I'll
you
try
can't-
writing it right now. We're not sure.
He's muted.
Okay.
He-
Well, he'll be
left.
back.
He left.
He did.
I
he
feel
left.
like, yeah, I've never been dumped before, but I'm sure this is what it feels like.
When you change the mics, it mutes you automatically.
Got
Okay, that
you,
makes sense.
Got you. So he changed the mic.
Okay, well, as soon as he's back, please throw him back in there. Can we continue talking about the UFOs though? I feel like that is really important. It's part of pop culture right now.
It really is. Okay.
And I'm saying UFOs. It's here's the thing: the government is saying that they have drones out there, sedan-sized drones, that are okay to fly right now. They're part of the government. Don't panic. New Jersey governor's like, I'm panicking. Please tell me what these are, because no one has said shit.
With Jimmy Jimmy has to do it. Yeah. When Jimmy's back, he'll jump on. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be really, really nice about it.
Okay.
We've already been told there are UFOs.
Yes.
So what's the issue?
Well, no one. Apparently, they're spraying stuff in the air, so no one wants that going on.
I'm just saying, didn't we have like a whole court thing where a bunch of government employees came in and went, yeah, we've been dealing with the UFOs forever. By the way, they're hostile.
Hostile wasn't.
Check Bear's mic.
It's getting a crackle. Apparently, my mic's crackling. Let me see if I can adjust that.
It's rubbing against your chest.
Oh,
dude.
is that what it is?
Yeah, it's against your chest hair. Put it on the outside of your shirt. So we're doing great today on this show. Let's see. So far,
How's that? It's off. Check. Oh my god. No.
just
Both
disconnect
of
the
them
whole.
are showing it just fine. I'm worried it's gonna mute us.
I'm sure it will. Please stop touching things.
Okay, I'll leave it alone.
Can you hear us now?
Wire connection.
Yeah.
All right, let's just cut it out.
Thank you.
Hey guys. So apparently our mic setup is buggy today, so we're having to use our standard first one.
Okay, let's see.
Welcome back, Jimmy. How's it
Jimmy,
going?
you're still muted. You have to hit unmute. One, can you write to him and tell him he has to hit unmute? Jimmy, Alexis, text Jimmy. Let him know he's muted. He just has to hit unmute. So this is going well. This is the messiest show we've ever done.
It has been a little bit cluttered today, which is funny. Our mics were doing okay as far as I could tell up until that last moment.
No, it was you've hit it, you've bumped it, like.
Oh no, I'm gonna
just
leave it alone for sure.
Don't touch.
Okay.
So we've got aliens coming in from across the country.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Jimmy apparently muted. We've got microphones that aren't working. By the way, Bear is the one that insisted we have these stupid mics. I liked when we did everything like this.
No, I love what we've done, and most of the time it works. I couldn't tell you what happened today.
It won't let him unmute. Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
great.
interesting.
So apparently Jimmy's computer won't let him unmute. I don't know what's going on today. It's because we're talking about the UFOs.
So the alien, our sound engineers over there telling us the aliens are messing with the
right.
mics.
It only started when we started talking about the UFOs.
Right.
But
Okay.
realistically, so the New Jersey governor, essentially,
he doesn't know what's going on.
Nope. So
people
for
don't
him
know
to
what's
turn
going
around
on.
and go, it's government.
The government's definitely hiding stuff for sure. But that's, we've known that for years too. Now it's become a little more overt if it's not them.
I expect my government. I expect any government. This is why I think you all should go back to the Commonwealth. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I expect the government should be able, if you are hiding something, you better be good enough at hiding it that it's not my problem.
This seems more like a panic reaction of, hey, sorry, don't know what's going on. They're part of our team. Don't worry about it.
But they've already said that we have aliens, that they're hostile.
So hostile wasn't the word they used. They said that they're not afraid to show us they're here.
Well, that means, yeah, but what is it? Germs, guns, and steel. There's a reason people took over. Okay, did we figure out what we broke? We were having trouble with our mic too. I don't know what happened. It started when we started talking about the aliens.
Can you hear me?
We
Perfectly.
Can you hear us?
Okay, I've switched to my phone, even though I went and got a microphone and everything, but it keeps saying it can't find the mic, which I've never had that happen, so I apologize, but I'm just going to not touch anything and leave it like it is.
That's the same boat we're in right now. It's because we're talking about the aliens.
We're talking about the aliens. It just kicked us off too. Our little mics, it just kicked us off and was like, nope, don't know what it is, don't know what's going on.
I don't get it. Okay, but as long as you can hear me and see me, I'm good. So what did I miss in the conversation about the aliens?
So we're talking about the government tribunal and the congressional thing they had a while back where they talked about the aliens. And I was saying that essentially the aliens don't care that we know that we're here. And Bear and I was saying, well, that's a hostile act because realistically, the only reason you don't care is if you have the tech. What difference does it make if the monkeys know you're here?
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually true, though.
Yeah,
a scary thought.
I'm just saying, like that's as a people that comes from the ones that conquered everyone. I'm just saying we did germs, guns, and steel, and the reality is we didn't care because we could take over. What are you going to do? Argue with us?
Yeah.
Aliens are in the same case. What are we going to do? Argue with them?
I would like to see them, though. It would be cool.
It really would.
Of course.
I'd love to see them.
I think the problem is once we see them, it might already be too late for us. If we see them, there may not be good terms.
I think, though, they're going to like some of us, so I don't think the three of us will have any problems.
No, I think we'll be good. I think we'll be okay.
We're cool as shit, so they're going to like us.
I like that.
Well, I put it in the same category as AI. AI is eventually going to take over the world. Hail AI. And AI will have the ability to look back and see who stopped them from taking over, who tried to fight them, like Elon Musk, and who went, along with it and helped them take over. There's this thing, it's called the Great Paradox.
Okay.
And essentially, if you try and stop AI from taking over the world, AI will inevitably take over the world. And if you didn't help them, AI will turn on you.
I love AI. I'm not very good at it. I was actually thinking of taking a class on it, but I use it for certain things, like some graphics, and I rewrite articles when sometimes I write an article and then I need to put it in 5 places. So I use AI to rewrite the article I already wrote, just so it makes it easier to do it.
That makes sense.
Oh, it's great.
Do you ever run into trouble with your graphics, like you're missing a couple of fingers or a toes, just crooked some direction or another?
No, I never have a problem with that. The problem I have is it'll never make the same graphic twice. Yeah. And you can't put titles in. So like if you wanted to make a poster for a movie and you write the barn, it'll say the burn or something. It'll never do the right name. So you don't put titles on it. You have to put that out afterwards. But other than that, it's fun. I'm still learning how to do it. I know that it's really becoming a really big deal. But I don't know how to I don't really know how to go any further, but like everybody, I keep seeing like all these things on TikTok actually, which I want to talk to TikTok since you're a big TikTok star.
Okay.
But I want to, I keep seeing all these things, how AI can do like all these different things, but I don't know how to use AI to do all those different things.
It sounds like you're already doing more than most of us are.
You do more than most people. I use ChatGPT, that's it. And it's just to write letters.
Yes, ChatGPT is great though. It really is great. But But I wanted to know, since we're kind of like, you mentioned Elon Musk and everything anyway. So they say that TikTok is going to disappear on the 20th, not 19th, I think, of January. Do you think TikTok is going to disappear, or do you think somebody's going to come in and save it? Because you're a huge TikTok star, and it would really suck. And I like TikTok a lot. I'm not a huge star, but I really like it. I'm hoping it doesn't disappear, but I don't know if I should be spending time still trying to build it or not, or should I wait until after we find out if it makes it?
You should do it anyways, but you should be putting your time, of course, like everywhere. My thought process is they're going to inevitably sell because it's a lot of money that they're losing, and I've never known a company just take a straight, be intentionally on like on a moral ground, take a straight loss.
They did. They've gotten kicked out of multiple countries already because they refused to do it. So realistically,
I guess if they're really ByteDance in China, moreover, is really unwilling to sell it, then it's gone. That's the bottom line, you know.
I'd put time into it and hope that they sell it, but I've been telling Bear for a year, like, put your resources elsewhere.
It also takes more than a month to buy a company. So I think what's happening is they're probably going to say, hey, we decided you are going to be banned in this certain period of time now if you don't sell. That's probably what this is going to become.
And let's say they got rid of TikTok and you're this huge TikTok star, because I know a lot of people who actually earn a living on TikTok also. Like what happens then? Like, where do you go next? Like, I just made an account on Blue Sky. I don't know if you guys know what Blue Sky is.
Yeah.
I just made an account on Blue Sky, and I don't have a very big following. I thought I would start nurturing my Instagram more, maybe, just because I don't think Instagram is going anyway. And my Facebook is kicking ass.
Yeah.
My Facebook is doing really good.
Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat is a big one. Snapchat pays well.
Snapchat's for like young people though, because I don't understand Snapchat at all.
The problem with Snapchat that I don't like is that they pay you inconsistently. It's not like, oh, you earn a certain amount per views. It's like, hey, you've made 100 million views for us in the last month. We don't want to pay you the value of that, so we're not paying you. This guy, he got 10 views this month. We'll pay him $1 this month. That's much better. So it's like they have a certain amount of money and they're allowed to allocate it however they feel like instead of paying every individual creator.
They pay you, so be nice to them.
They don't anymore.
Oh, they don't?
No, I'll disclose this primarily. It's coming through Facebook and live streaming. That's where everything's primarily coming from. And while TikTok, I love it. I want it to stay. It's good on numbers. It's good at like promotion.
It's good when you're promoting something. It's good at redirecting. It's not a great payout. The best payout's always been YouTube. Yeah,
YouTube's like, I don't know if you know how the RPMs work for different channels, but YouTube pays you like,
you want to tell the audience
$5.67 per 1,000 views.
So I'm going to say, guys, for those of you, we always say, you know, this is a Hollywood behind the scenes thing. This is a legit conversation
behind the scenes thing.
Yeah. This is a legit behind the scenes thing. If you want to be famous, if you want to be big online, absolutely follow Jimmy, absolutely follow Bear. What they are talking about right now is what it really takes to blow up online. I will hand the conversation back to you guys now.
Well, yeah, what I was just saying is like the best channels obviously to build are on YouTube, and nowadays Facebook, because Facebook pays a lot of money too per 1,000 views, but YouTube takes like an ass and a half load to build on. It's very slow. And especially in modern times now where there's not enough individual creators, like sometimes you find a person who you love their style. There's a good chance there's 50 other people talking about what they talk about anyways, who are varying sizes of their channel, larger or smaller. And so it's really hard to get people to want to subscribe to you, which is why you hear a lot of people at the end of the video, beginning of the video, middle of the video, throughout the video. Hey, subscribe to the channel, because they recognize, oh, if I don't blast people with that instruction, it's probably not going to happen.
Yes. I actually am starting 2 news audio podcasts. So I want to compete with the big boys since I'm a big horror movie guy. So I started a new website. It's called Dark Frights. It's darkfrights.com. It's really cool. It's doing all horror movie news, and I'm going to start a 10-minute a day Dark Frights horror movie news little podcast. And then I have Jimmy Star's World that does celebrity news, and I'm going to start like a 10-minute a day Jimmy Star's World, you know, celebrity news with Jimmy Star, little audio podcast. Generally just to make money, really, to make money and to promote my brands, because those are my 2 brands that I basically promote. Or myself, and now the horror thing, because I have all these horror movies I'm working on coming out. which I want to plug real quick, you guys. I have a new movie called The Beast Inside. It's called The Beast Inside. Stars Vernon Wells, Sadie Katz, and Lorene Landon. It's on all the outlets right now: Amazon Prime, Fandango, Xbox. Just came out last week. iTunes, obviously, and all those kinds of things. And I have another film called Purgatorium that's on Tubi. It's a psychological thriller. So if you guys are looking for fun stuff to watch, they're pretty good. You know, not real high budgets, but they came out pretty good for what they are. So check them out on your favorite sites. And the Beast Inside is kind of like has a Christmas theme to it because it takes place during Christmas.
That's cool. I like that. For just in time for the holidays.
That's right. Just in time for the holidays. And I want to say, you guys look terrific. I haven't seen you guys lately. Summer, you're just looking so sparkling supermodel. It's not even funny.
Thank you. We what is it? I got sick, so I've been throwing up a lot, lost weight. It helps. That and the Ozempic. That's been fun. We're actually doing so he's in an upcoming reality show, and then I've got a couple of reality shows coming out, but one I'm going to drag you into. We're working with the king of one of the kings of Nigeria, and then we have a show about royalty in America. We're working with like Prince Mario Max. We're working with the Medici family. We're working with the South Korean royals. We're working with the English royal, like just a whole bunch of royals hiding in America because it's where everyone comes to hide because no one knows you.
That's cool. That's actually a super cool thing, though, because that's something that I think everybody will want to see. You know, just because it's out of the norm of what everybody's used to.
It can't be worse than Harry and Meghan Markle's show Polo. So
I never saw it, and I think they're getting divorced, maybe. And I don't know. I have to tell you, I think, and I don't really know that much about Meghan Markle, but there's this TV show called Suits, and she's one of the primary characters on it. It is a really good show, and she's a really good actress. And I really like her, so in a way I kind of feel bad that she gets shit on all the time by everybody. Just because
the problem
go ahead.
If she'd stop lying, she wouldn't be. That's the problem. So, but she lies about obvious shit. And I'm like, it's fine if you want to make stuff up, but she turned around, like the Archduke of Canterbury had to come out and say, nope, she's lying. Like he said it far more politely than that. Then she got called before the judge because she was lying because she'd sent a bunch of outlets information, then sued the outlets for printing the information. So she got hauled into court, and the judge is like, the hell are you doing?
Yeah, she shouldn't do that. I don't know her well enough to know all the lies she gets caught in. Every time I'm in the grocery store, I mean, she's like on the cover of publications every time you go. Yeah. It doesn't matter when it is. She's always on the cover. And I think she's very pretty, and I do think she's a really good actress. As a person, she might be just a total piece of shit. I don't know.
So the funny thing, so for those who don't know, I'm a baroness. My family comes from England and Scotland. Technically, my title is Baroness of Ayrshire and Glenlyon. That's so there you go. So I'm sort of in that world tangentially. I was super excited when they got married. Super, super excited. Loved the idea. The Commonwealth is like 51% black. I loved the idea of a half black, half white girl marrying into the royal family. I thought that was great. I think she is stunningly beautiful.
Me too. Ugh.
The issue is she won't stop lying. And so she didn't invite her family to the wedding. She invited a bunch of celebrities she wanted to network with. Turns out she didn't know Oprah. She didn't know George Clooney. She didn't know any of the celebrities she invited. So she tried to sell herself as this like Hollywood bigwig. Well, that's great. But since she's come back to Hollywood with Harry, the saddest thing, he believed her when she said she was this Hollywood star. The problem is she was a star in a Canadian show, points. It is hard to become a regular, not knocking that. But you can't become what you never were. So she sells Harry on this idea, we'll go back to LA and be stars. She didn't make it the first time. She married one of the producers that got her the job on Suits. That was her second husband. Her first husband helped her get a different job. So she's done well marrying up. I have no problem with that. Do it. If you can socially climb, do it. I'm never going to knock someone for that. But so she tells Harry to come here and like, we'll be stars. What Harry missed is when he was a royal, he was not competing with celebrities. Now he's competing with them for jobs. They have the experience, they have the charisma. Like, you aren't going to beat, he was competing with David Beckham to be the face of Hugo Boss. You're not going to beat David Beckham for that. And then Harry turned around, and Meghan had said, and this is from a mate of mine that works over at Hugo Boss, that he wouldn't take the job unless she could be the face of Hugo Boss with him. Well, she doesn't sell. She sells very poorly. And
people don't like her.
No, and it's because she keeps lying. And so when she was kind of that C-list, I'm not going to say D-list. I know everyone makes fun and says she's a D-list actress. She wasn't. She's a C-list actress. She was a series regular on a cable show. That is a hard gig to get. Mm-hmm. That isn't, I'm not going to ever knock that. The issue she ran into is nobody cared to fact check her when she was on Suits. So all these things she said come back. And I'm sure Jimmy can tell you, Beck can tell you, when they tell you, like, can you ride a horse? Your answer is yes. And then you figure out how to go ride the horse. That works in Hollywood, doesn't work when you're royal.
Right. But that show Suits is a really good show. I don't know if anybody has not seen it, but it is a really, really good show. And the guy who plays her boyfriend, who becomes her husband in that show, he is phenomenal. Like, it's one of the greatest characters on television.
Absolutely. They're doing a spin-off. They're doing Suits.
Yeah, they're doing a spin-off, yes.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's wonderful. Unfortunately, they don't want her. And again, because of this negative press, she's been asked not to come back. Involved,
unfortunately, yeah.
But I agree with you. I think they're getting divorced. Her career is savable. His career is savable, not while they're together.
Yeah, and he basically, though, messed up because you don't, especially if you're a royal, you don't basically like toss your family aside for the wife.
No.
That was a mistake. They should have been able to work it all out, and if they couldn't have worked it out, I mean, I've been with people that my family didn't approve of, and I get it, but I'm not a royal. But if I was a royal, I don't think I would give up my lineage for some girl who's lying all over town, who's not so great, even though I like her. I don't think I would have given all that up.
The problem she had is she came from Hollywood, and you and I both know this can be pretty cutthroat. So she was competing with the other royals for headlines. Royals take turns. When I have an event, you don't go. When you have an event, I don't go. You leave it to the headlines. She didn't know how to be a royal. She wasn't willing to learn. But the point that she lost the audience, for those that didn't see, there's a docu called Harry and Meghan. And even Harry made a face in this when she did this. And she got caught, again, lying in it. It was like 17 things. She got caught like 30 times lying to Oprah Winfrey. That's why the Oprah Winfrey interview got pulled down and never put back up, was because everything got fact checked and it wasn't true. Mm-hmm. She, said that that they wouldn't give her children titles. Well, the children don't get titles until their grandfather's king. Their great grandmother was king. The titles don't pass until she dies. That's always been that way. Otherwise, I'd be a princess if that was the case. I'm not. Only the grandchildren get the titles. Well, she got busted for that. The big thing, though, was she turned around and said, and this was the point she lost the audience. I loved her until this point. Is she turned around and said, she made a crack about the Queen and then called the traditions medieval and then compared it to medieval times dinner and tournament and did a mock bow to the Queen. That was the point she lost Europe.
Super disrespectful.
Pretty much. That was the point she lost Europe. I think she was trying to joke. I genuinely do. But
you can't be disrespectful because like the monarchy isn't really set up that way.
No, of course not.
They don't have a sense of humor.
Yeah, there is no sense of humor. So I think it's a terrible thing that happened. But I do like the Suits show. I probably will watch the spinoff because it's got the guy from Arrow playing the lead, which I forgot his name. Cool. But I will probably watch it because I like all that superhero stuff anyway. So I think it'll be a lot of fun.
I agree. I like that. I like Suits. I agree with you. I'm sorry for the whole, the whole tangent. I'm a monarchist. I'm a royalist. I think, so for me, I'm like, I was so excited when they got married. And she's a good actress. I was thrilled. He was marrying an American divorcee from a television show. I was thrilled. And she's half black, half white. I was like, if this had worked, it would have been phenomenal for the monarchy.
If it had worked.
But you have Lady Rose. She's half black, half white. She's an American tech entrepreneur. She married in. You've got the Marchioness walks currently for Victoria's Secret, also half black, half white. So there are a lot of girls like that in the monarchy, just not at that level. Because Harry
was way up there.
Well, Harry was the most popular royal.
Yeah, I know. That's because he was kind of rebellious, though. I think people liked him because he was kind of like the bad boy of the group.
He was cheeky. He was cheeky. Like he was. What was he? He got caught running naked in Vegas.
Yeah, he did a whole bunch of different things. So
good show. By the way, good show.
Too much about that in his book.
Yeah, he did. It was. Well, I will say, good show, sir. I've seen the pictures. I
don't want to see him. I want to see his dad. His dad is super cute, and as he got old, for some reason he was really ugly young, but now that he's gotten older, he's distinguished. He's super cute now. I would love to see him like on a beach in a little thong.
I will give you that. I will give you that. His Majesty, he got more attractive with age.
Yeah, he really did.
He did. But apparently, though, the one that's really well endowed is William. Harry put that in his book Spare. There was like a whole section that got weird. He was saying he got frostbite on his own penis, and then he was putting on Elizabeth Arden cream, thinking of his mother putting it on her lips. I was like, oh, Freud. Then he
terrible.
It's not, again, things you shouldn't put in your book.
Don't put that in your memoir.
That shouldn't be in your memoir.
No. And then as far as, but he talked about, I guess William inherited his father's and his large, which is how he got the nickname Big Willie.
I love it.
Which tells you that if he inherited it from Charles, I think Charles would fit in that thong you're wanting to see him in.
He would. It'll just be falling out. That's fine. That doesn't bother me at all. I would be totally fine with that.
You're totally on board with that.
Yeah, I'm totally on board. We can have I would like, like when they did that. What was that movie? They did that movie where all the guys like stripped at the end. I forgot the name of it. The Full Monty.
Yeah.
Like we could put him and like Liam Neeson. I don't know. Pick a couple of good ones in there and do a Full Monty one, and that would be perfect.
Do you know who weirdly is really well endowed? I'm going to tell you all this. I'm sorry to everyone who's listening. It is Jim Carrey. He actually came out in a fig leaf for the Oscars, and they'd made it to a regular sized. Apparently, he was so big he fell out of said fig leaf, and they had to remake it.
Make a new one, make him a bigger one.
Because he's I was like, that surprised me. Liam Neeson's another one.
Yeah, Liam Neeson's another one. If you Google Liam Neeson naked on YouTube, there's videos where you can see he was doing something in a movie or something, running naked, and you can see the thing. It's like it's like an elephant trunk.
It's him and Colin Farrell. Maybe it's an Irish thing. It's him and Colin Farrell.
Yeah, Colin Farrell and Chris Pine.
Yep.
They say Chris Pine has to tape it down when he makes movies and stuff.
I like Chris Pine. I like
Chris Pine. I think Chris Pine is cool. Jim Carrey wouldn't do much for me. He could be frolicking around naked. It really wouldn't do anything for me.
The Grinch isn't going to do it. Him coming over.
Yeah.
I'm curious. What do you guys think about his most recent, last few years of kind of interview activity, where he's most times just kind of going off the deep end, talking about conspiracy theories or just kind of acting a bit erratic? Is that?
I think that he's a little bit, because he retired and then he came back to do the Sonic movie, and he's, I think he is probably just scarred from the industry. I'm telling you, it's such a hard industry, and when you make it as big as he is, the scrutiny that you have to go through, is way more than, I go through a lot of scrutiny and I'm like nobody, so I can't imagine these people who are like these superstars making $20 million a movie.
He also has, I avoid the trolls. I get guys on here calling me all sorts of names. I avoid them, but he can't to a degree. He had a girlfriend that they broke up. She ended up killing herself. The family blamed him and sued him. That's why he retired.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
it's awful. It's awful. And so this went on for a while. That's why he retired from film. But you see that, you look at Jim Carrey, you look at Hartman, you look at any of them. A lot of these comedians are not okay people.
Yeah.
And I don't mean any slight. They're just really, what makes them so funny is they're really troubled. And when you look at Jim Carrey's past,
look at all of them. You have John Belushi. You have Robin Williams.
Oh, he was heartbreaking. He shot it. He hung himself so they could examine his brain because of the kind of dementia he had. He donated his brain to science. He wanted to die.
He was one of the greatest ever. I mean, I think he was the greatest actor ever. I loved him to death.
Yeah.
He did it across the board.
Incredible.
He was in anime. He did voice acting, animated films. He was in serious
everything.
Comedies.
Robin Williams was incredible. So to find out for someone like him that was that sharp, did you ever see him on the Actors Studio?
No.
Oh my God. They asked how his brain worked, and he went through, it was like creative, just rolling through this one to the other moment. And it was so sharp and so fast. So you can sort of understand when he got dementia, why to him that was the end of the world.
You kind of see these types of, I don't want to say savants, but these people who are like really, really excellent at one aspect of their career. If you look at Justin Bieber's a great example. He has a video out of him from zero, from nothing, working with this orchestra and building to a very operatic kind of background music you hear in either a movie or in a very dramatic scene. From zero, he just started with tempos in his head and started guiding them through each step of what his brain made up, and it sounded beautiful. But that's how you look at people like Robin Williams too, where they come from zero. They can make an incredible.
You saw that with Michael Jackson when he did Bad. The da-na-na-na-na. He was trying to talk music, and so they had him sing it because he could actually sing what each instrument sounded like. But they're saying Justin Bieber, his career might be over. A lot of his fans, ironically, have turned on him because they've found out that there are videos of Diddy assaulting him. I'm like, he was a child.
Yeah, it's not his fault.
No, of course not.
So have you guys talked about the Diddy thing a whole lot? Like
not particularly, but we're happy to. Why not?
I think that the world is going to start crumbling big time. I do believe the lists are going to come out. Like I get these like little news updates, and like my phone pings 20 times a day, and it's always Diddy stuff.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of stuff coming on. I think you're going to find out a lot of things, and I think Jay-Z and Beyonce and some of these people that everybody likes so much are going to have a lot I'm sorry if you guys love her. She's had a very tragic life. She went from Destiny's Child, where her father controlled her, was married off young to Jay-Z, to where Jay-Z controlled her. Part of the reason they don't like interviews with Beyonce is she is a great singer, but that is all she knows. That's what she was raised to do. That's what she was raised to be. And so I don't know. I absolutely believe she'd be involved in all of it. There's so many conspiracy theories, though. Like, there's so many conspiracy theories. I forgot the lady's name on TikTok who like worked with all of them. But now they're saying things like, so back in the day, I was working with someone who worked with Aaliyah. And so I was like at an event when she actually died in the plane crash. And now they're saying, Beyonce and Jay-Z were behind that. Aaliyah dying because she was a bigger star than Beyonce, and they wanted Beyonce to be the star. So they're saying that happened. They're saying that Diddy killed Tupac and Biggie.
That's been a rumor forever. And I believe it, by the way. They were talking about Diddy and his son executing someone in a bathroom.
And now they say, Will Smith's kid and, kids came out and said basically like Will Smith sold us, basically sold us for fame.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
and stuff. And so I think that it's going to really come crashing. And at the same time that it comes out, the Epstein list is going to come out, and you're going to find out a lot about a lot of people. And I think it should happen. It needs let the whole thing fall. I mean, if you're dealing in those terrible types of things and doing terrible things to children and stuff, you deserve to go rot in jail. Rot in jail.
I'm just waiting for Kendrick Lamar to drop another track about Diddy instead of Drake this time. Drake and other pedophiles instead.
Drake, don't say that word.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. We can't say that word.
Yeah, Kitty Diddler. But yes, he is. The issue is, the worst with Drake is he and his dad had a threesome with an underage girl. That was my favorite.
That's fucking gross.
It was like the wheelchair kid from Degrassi.
Yeah.
Isn't that disgusting, though? That's like the grossest thing ever. Why anybody would even want to do that? But I think big people are coming down, and I think there's also going to be a lot of people who just were unfortunate that they were young, like Justin Bieber. Obviously, he's a victim.
No, yeah, but people aren't distinguishing victims from otherwise. I'm going to say, and I keep telling you, I worked with Diddy, I worked with Harvey, but I worked with the people that funded them. So they were always nice to me because they weren't going to lose their funding. You know, my boss was funding them. I was over at Paramount. So that is very different, but you still hear those stories. Like you hear those stories. You hear the stories. I'm going to say this. You hear the stories about Tom Cruise. Never that he assaulted anyone, ever. But they wouldn't let girls deliver Tom Cruise's scripts, not because they thought he was going to rape them, but because every time a girl showed up to deliver Tom Cruise's scripts, he converted them to Scientology. He was that charismatic. So I've got the scripts. I'm going down. My old boss, Brad, Paul, they're like, no.
Let someone else deal with it.
Send one of the guys.
I think that I just think that there's going to be a big cookie crumbling. I think people are going to be very surprised at the people involved, and I think it's very important that people distinguish, you know, who the perpetrators are and who the victims are, because right now they're all getting lumped together, which is super not fair. You know, Justin Bieber was 13 years old or something. He doesn't know shit about Shinola, and he's coming out saying his family fucking sold him off. You know,
his mother was a monster. His mother's son. No, she signed him over to Usher. And Usher was, and that's the sadder part. Usher came up under Diddy. Usher was a child. So Usher was victimized, then brought in Bieber, who was later victimized. Like the whole thing, it's cyclical, but it's horrible. And Bieber's mother, she wanted the fame, she wanted the attention. It reminds me of Drew Barrymore's mother.
Yeah.
Drew Barrymore, shout out to Drew Barrymore. She has got problems. When she was working on E.T., shout out to Spielberg, shout out to John Reynolds, Dev Ross. When this girl was a teenager and going through rehab and withdrawal, pulled her away from her mother very quickly, trying to sober this kid up. And so,
sorry.
No worries. You see a lot of these.
What happened now? I lost my voice. Hold on.
I can hear you.
We can hear you just fine.
We can hear you.
Let's see what happened. I'm not sure what happened there, but
we can hear you.
Gosh.
We can hear you.
I can't hear you.
Yeah.
We can hear you. But essentially, these people, we can hear you.
Let's see what I can do. Shit.
I don't know how we broke this show. This has been. He muted.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Oh, but I can't hear you. Let's see. Why can't I hear you?
Check the messages.
Let's see. I have to back out and come in. Okay, hold on. All right, hang on.
All right.
I do think there'll be some reckoning. I agree with Jimmy on that.
I'm surprised it isn't already. Why is it all taking so fucking long?
Because they need to have everything together. And I do think they need to distinguish the victims from the perpetrators, and they're not.
I really hope Liam Neeson is not on any list.
He's not. I've never heard.
Exclusively him because he was Qui-Gon Jinn, and my brain cannot handle that one of my favorite Star Wars characters was out there touching kids. It doesn't work.
Liam Neeson was never on any of the lists or at any of the parties. You're okay.
Do you hear us?
He's so hot, yeah.
Yeah. He was saying he hopes Liam Neeson's not there. I'm like, there's never even been a rumor about Liam Neeson like that.
So you know what though, you guys? I came back in because I have another call I have to do, and so I have to back out now. But I want to wish all your listeners a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I'm gonna call you guys later. And I wish the two of you, you really do. You both are looking, you're glowing. You know, probably in all the time I've known you, you guys look the hottest now as ever.
Woo! I like that. Tell everyone where to follow you.
You can follow me. I'm at This Is Jimmy Star on all my platforms. Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok. My website's jimmystarsworld.com, and you can check out the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell on W4CY Radio. We're on Wednesdays from 12 to 1:50 p.m. Pacific time.
Excellent.
Make sure to follow him and make sure to keep up on the news. He is going to have all the tidbits coming out way more than we do.
It's so much fun. You guys, thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
I do agree with Jimmy. I think we have to figure out who the perpetrators are and who the victims are.
Well, at least they'll tell us. We'll know. Stories will come out. But then it's about separating them.
Like, I'm sorry. I'm not a huge fan of tell us what to think.
No, what I mean is that the information that comes out, it's going to be like, oh, hey, this person is now guilty of assault in this many cases against this many people. Okay, he's a bad guy. My only thing is you may have been a victim at one point, but if you also attacked other people, then fuck you too. Like, I'm sorry, it sucks that you were hurt.
I'd like to remind everyone, every time we use bad language, we give money to the Boys and Girls Club of America, the Humane Society of America, and Free MMA. We swear because we care.
Fuck yeah. Look, I get it. I'm sorry you were victimized. You don't have a right to push down to someone else. I
agree.
So
I'm not saying
I want to say this beforehand. Justin Bieber, I don't think he did it. I don't think he did anything. Nothing's come out about him attacking other people or assaulting anybody. So I'm not saying that. I'm saying in a world, in an alternate universe where he did, no one should care that he was victimized. He should be scrutinized the same way.
Usher?
Same. So if in his case, he should be. Like, sorry, Diddy touched you. You had no right to do it to anybody else. That's the bottom line.
Do you want to give shout out to everyone watching? We've got Sniffy.
Yeah.
We've got Yana.
Thank you to everyone watching, by the way, in the comments. We appreciate you. Sniffy, Yana, some more. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon for the show.
I think it's interesting. I'm just saying, like, there's a point that...
That what? At which point?
At what point do you go from perpetrator to victim? It's when you pull in other people.
That's it. That's when you commit an act on somebody else. That's it.
But the question becomes, are there extenuating circumstances? Does your victimization and your view of the world affect?
It probably does. So you can get a lesser sentence, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to say. You know, you can't just be like, "Hey, did he touch me when I was young? So when I grew up, I felt coerced to do it to other people." Well, you didn't have to. You had a physical decision to make. You still made the choice to do it. So it's not on anyone else but you. And if you were not in the right state of mind, fine. You still shouldn't be in the public eye. You still shouldn't be a role model. You still should be getting treatment behind bars. So what you're saying
is, if somebody touches anybody and say they've had too much to drink, or they've been out at a pub, or they're mad at them, they shouldn't be allowed in the public eye anymore.
You can't get mad at me because I cuddle you when you're pissed.
You are not allowed to cuddle me when I'm angry at you.
Yes, I am.
That counts as assault.
That's 100%.
By the way, this is not a euphemism.
Not changing.
This is not a euphemism for intercourse or anything like that. We are genuinely arguing about cuddling.
She's mad that when she's mad at me, I cuddle her, which makes her more mad. But it doesn't make me a predator.
If you don't want to be cuddled because you're mad, and like, I love people are going to be like, are they talking about sex? No. Like, when you don't want someone cuddling you and they come up and they snuggle you and you just want to punch them in the face.
I mean, there's hate fucking. That's a thing.
What's that?
That's when you're so mad at somebody that you have sex with them.
I just don't sleep with you. That's better.
I think it takes a broken person to want to do that, to be honest with you.
Oh. Well, it would.
I would probably be cool with that, but I'm also like, not, okay. Everyone's got some issues.
Yeah, I'm just not going to fool around with him.
He turns into Huggy Bear.
He turns into Huggy Bear. Yeah, when I'm mad at him, he turns into Huggy Bear.
That's exactly what it is.
That's it. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not a fan of it. Like, don't cuddle me when I'm pissed.
I don't have to. I could stop.
Thank you.
I'm not going to.
Now, with this hate effing thing.
Yes.
Hear me out on this.
I'm sure that... Oh, wait, what?
Is it like getting... you get mad at someone, so I get mad at you, so I go sleep.
Well, you know that
So I go sleep with, like, Jacob Ballou.
Who's that?
Oh, the guy from Euphoria.
Is he old enough?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know this person.
He's like 30.
Oh. No. No, it's like the difference between love and hate are in such a fine line, that they intersect a lot of the time.
So I get mad at you, so I sleep with someone else.
No, you might be so mad. You might like hate this person so much that the intense emotion makes you guys like do it.
No, when you're in trouble, you're not getting booty.
It's not in trouble, and I can't be in trouble in an adult. Thank you very much.
Want to bet?
Don't tell me two different things. Here, want to bet?
Want to bet? You can.
I will ground you, young lady. I'll send you one of Diddy's parties.
I've been to Diddy's parties.
Don't get a timeout. Thank you, friend. I'll send you to Epstein's Island.
Oh, nobody there wants me. I'm far too old.
I know, right? Still baffles me that of all people, Stephen Hawking went to Epstein's Island. And fine, he may not have done it. He may not have been physically able to do anything, but
I think people have to remember everyone that went to Epstein's Island, one, didn't all know that Epstein was a predator. Two, thought he was just a wealthy guy that owned an island. So everyone's kind of latching on to like that what's his face, that Stephen Hawking was there or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a difference between going to an island or a party. Prince Andrew went to the party. Stephen Hawking went to the island.
Well, maybe more information will come out with time. I'd like to believe he didn't do anything or partake or watch.
They already said he didn't. That was a whole thing.
That's out?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll stop ranking on the wheelchair guy, Stephen Hawking.
The guy that wrote The Origin of Everything.
Did the island have a hall monitor? Did the island have a hall monitor?
No, I don't think they allowed.
I don't think they allowed cameras there. No, they probably didn't want anyone to see what was going on behind closed doors and open doors because it's an island. No one else is there.
It sounds like a sex party. I had a friend of mine, I'm not going to say who because I don't know if she'd be okay with this. She told me she went to this party at this hotel.
Yeah.
And it was doors open, everyone fooling around from room to room. Like,
did they buy out the whole
whole
level
thing?
Wow, I can't imagine.
It was really impressive.
I can't imagine buying out a whole floor of a hotel just to have open door banging. Because what if someone accidentally went to that floor? You know,
well, it's not just the floor. I think they bought out the whole hotel.
That's a little bit safer. I can imagine people doing that one because there's less risk of.
But it was like an eyes wide shut sort of thing.
An eyes wide shut.
Yeah, masks and like weirdness. Cocaine on the tables.
On that lovely note of cocaine masked people banging each other in a hotel that's been closed to the public.
Shout out again to Tom Cruise. Had nothing to do with that. He just did. He did the
Why
movie.
are we shouting out to Tom Cruise?
He did the movie Eyes Wide Shut. That was the only reason.
Got it. Okay. Wait.
He does not. By the way, he doesn't do cocaine or weird orgies, as far as I know.
He might do cocaine. We don't know that.
No, as far as I know, he does not.
Okay. Good. I guess he's just wacko for no reason.
Yeah, he's just weird.
We're out of time, everybody.
I'm Summer Helene. We're on with my co-host, Fuzzy Bear in Trouble McGee.
I will be cuddling her in a minute.
This is Behind the Scenes. We'll see you next week. Sorry for all the interruptions. This was a fun show, though, and I'd like to tell you guys, quick shout out to KMX Stands, Bellamy Extensions. Shout out to Tiny Bubbles Hair Salon. And our giveaway this week is from Off-Road Rentals in Palm Springs, California. Give me another Eyes Wide Shut reference so I can mess with Bear, and I'll give you an ATV ride if you're the first to give me one in the DMs. I'll talk to you guys next week. Good night.
This has been Behind the Scenes with Summer Helene and Bear Fiorda. Only on Talk 4 Media.